Hello students, welcome to iStand. Today we discuss about the writing portion of class 10th CBSE short story. A short story is a narrative of fiction which is usually written in easy and understandable grammatical structure with natural flow of speech. Short story क्या है बच्चों? Short story is a narrative. It is a work of imagination which is usually written in an easy understandable grammatical structure with natural flow of speech. इसको हम एक easy language में लिखते हैं, तो इसे हम क्या कहते हैं? A short narration which is called a short story. इसमें हमें किन किन चीजों की जरूरत होती है? पहला चीज हमको जरूरत होती है main elements. The main elements. The elements used in this in the short story is first the theme. Theme is the central idea of the story. Okay. Next comes the characters. So before we start writing a short story, you have to fabricate a characters. You have to think of a character and give a role of it. So before starting a short story writing, we have to think of a character. Character should not be more than one central main character, and there can be one or more sub characters. So the characters, and then next comes the setting. So before writing the story, you have to think of a whole choreography of a story. मतलब जैसे जहां पर अब हीरो की एंट्री कब होगी और सीन क्या होगा, तो एक्चुअली हीरो कब जैसे आना चाहिए, विलेन का कब क्या रोल है, ये एक्चुअली आपको पहले ही सोचना पड़ेगा. इसको हम क्या लेंगे? दिस ऑल कम्स इन अ सेटिंग. नेक्स्ट कम्स द प्लॉट. प्लॉट इज एक्चुअली द चेन ऑफ इवेंट्स. आपको स्टोरी को पैराग्राफ में स्प्लिट करना होता है बाय गिविंग अ प्लॉट, और हर पैराग्राफ में आपको एक आइडिया आपकी उसमें होनी चाहिए जो कि सिस्टमैटिकली लिखा हो. तो प्लॉट उसके अंदर में आता है, उसको हम बोलते हैं प्लॉट. नेक्स्ट कम्स द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. और आपके स्टोरी में हमेशा एक सरप्राइज होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आपको कैरेक्टर्स के अंदर होनी चाहिए. जब कैरेक्टर्स को आप एक दूसरे से उसको आप वो कर रहे हैं, स्टोरी में डेवलप कर रहे हैं, तो उसके अंदर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होनी चाहिए. तो अ स्टोरी एक्चुअली शुड नॉट बी, आप सीबीएसई और एचपी बोर्ड में स्टोरी को ज्यादा लंबा ना लिखें. इट शुड बी within 200 or 200 more than 200 words, but not more than 250 words. Okay, so next is a story is actually should be read in a single sitting. स्टोरी को हमेशा हमें एक सिंगल सिटिंग में खत्म होनी चाहिए. जब एक आदमी बैठता है उसको स्टोरी को पढ़े तो एक ही सिटिंग में उसका स्टोरी खत्म हो जाए. Next comes the steps to write a short story. While writing a short story, you have to keep in mind that you always have to start a short story with an interesting manner. So your story, the first paragraph of your story writing should be in an interesting manner, so that to capture the reader's attention. If you don't start your story with an interesting manner, then the reader will not actually read your story. So you always have to start it with interesting manner. Reader will always judge at the beginning of the story that what your story talks about. So next you have to do to develop the characters into meaningful dialogues. Your story doesn't make a sense to the readers if there is no fact in it. So you have to always keep in mind that your dialogues, your story should be on a real dialogues. Use setting to develop atmosphere or mood. You simply cannot put the things which comes after. You cannot put it before. So there should be a steps So settings, according to the settings, you have to keep in mind to how to develop an atmosphere of your story. Develop the plot by creating conflict between the characters and external forces. There is a external forces and internal forces and external forces, and you have your the characters should face so the third point is use setting to develop atmosphere. A setting that I have already talked about. A setting beforehand, before writing a story, you have to keep in mind the whole choreography of a story. So you have to keep in mind the setting to develop atmosphere, to mood. You have to develop the atmosphere of the story. You have to keep in mind the setting of the story, the whole choreography of the story. Now, next is develop the plot by creating conflict between the characters and external forces. So the external forces are there. Otherwise, your story will not make a sense to the readers if there is no conflict, no interaction between characters and the external forces. So whatever the themes may be, so you have to interact characters between the external forces. So next is build up to climax and find a resolution. At the end of the story, you have to build up maybe into one paragraph, second paragraph, more paragraphs, but not more than 200 or 250 words. Build up to a climax. You have to build up in a climax by following action and find a resolution. If you don't give a resolution to your story, it will be of no sense. Your beginning is more same important as your ending. So you have to build up a climax and find a resolution, and you have to keep in mind that your story should always give a moral sense of the moral value of a story. Now next comes the points to keep in mind while writing a short stories. Number one, focus should be on the single incident. You cannot simply write, if you are writing a story about an accident, you cannot write about fair and festivals, all that other things in the story. So the focus should be always on the single incident. So always, the next comes, always use past tense while writing a short stories. You have to always use a past tense while writing a short stories. Keep in mind the central character. The main protagonist of the story, you have to keep in mind. Whereas you have to conflict with other characters also, but you have to keep in mind the central character of the story. Result of the story should be satisfying. At the end of the story, the conclusion of the story should be should carry some message in it. Next is use simple and innovative language. You don't have to use very bombastic words in your story writing. Just keep it simple and use innovative language if you have. Otherwise, just write it in a simple language. Sometimes the title of the story may be given in the in the question itself in the exam, but sometimes it is not. So if requires it, otherwise it is optional. So you have to not necessarily you have to give all the time the title of it. If the question asks for it, you have to give the title of the story. Otherwise it is optional. Even if you don't give the title of the story, it is okay. So students, this is about I have talked about the rules and regulation to write a story. This is the phase 1. In the next phase, I will be discussing with you how to write a story by giving an example. So that will be in the next phase.